Hi there! So this is a very quick video for you to teach you how to release emotions without the aid of a therapist. So I see a lot of clients in my practice who have got a lot of stuck emotions and they're very frightened of letting them go. Well, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't be frightened of letting your emotions go. You should welcome letting your emotions go, because once they're gone, once they're out of the body, they can't harm you. If they stay in the body, if they stay stuck, they create a lot of illness, a lot of dysfunction, disease, skewed thinking, a lot of internal conflicts. So when we create the space for ourselves to let our emotions go, we feel much freer, we feel more happy, we feel more congruent, we're basically in the vortex. So this is what I do. I have a lot of mini meltdowns and I welcome them, I embrace them. The first thing you have to do is to acknowledge that you have emotions within you. So you need to stop, pause, work out what's going on and ask yourself, do I need to do this process? Sometimes emotions are very, very obvious. I feel angry, or, we've been betrayed, or we're feeling really, really hurt. They're very obvious. Sometimes emotions might be layered. So, we might be feeling okay, but actually if we stop and question what's going on underneath, we might realise that there is stuff under the surface, especially if we've been self-medicating with food, alcohol, sex, anything like that which kind of suppresses emotions. That's a surefire way to tell that you need to do this process, really. So the second thing you need to do is, once you've acknowledged that you need to let go of something or there's something there, you need to create the space for yourself. So that means setting aside half an hour or an hour, creating a nice atmosphere, so a room where no one's going to disturb you, nice soft lighting, maybe some candles, some cushions, some tissues, some water. It's like your own little ritual. And you're going to create a playlist or choose some music to help you do this. So my go-to music is Hans Zimmer. I love the cinematic, the expansiveness of it, and the fact that it's instrumental as well means that I can speak while the music is being played and it's not being interrupted by vocals, and I'm not latching onto any vocals, I'm having my own experience. So I would highly recommend that you choose instrumental music. Classical music is great, especially cinematic music, because it kind of puts you in your own movie in a way. So Hans Zimmer's great. I particularly like the music from Interstellar, one in particular called Cornfield Chase, which kind of has this escalating and hypnotic feel to it. So I use that. Then what I do, I start a tapping process. Now I'm not an EFT practitioner, but many of you will know about EFT, and it's really, really good for helping you to name and acknowledge emotions. So you start with the chop here, and you say what the immediate emotion is. I feel angry at the thought that. Yeah, so I feel, you name the emotion at the thought that, and then you fill in the blanks. I feel angry at the thought that someone's really pissed me off. I feel angry at the thought that someone's really pissed me off. And you get into that emotion while you say that. And this is the setup. So then you stop and you follow the tapping sequence, just saying, I feel angry. I feel angry. I feel really angry. And you get into that emotion. Okay, you allow it to be there, you acknowledge it, you create the space for it. Follow these taps. So this is the eyebrow one, in between the eyebrows, or just here. You can find these points very easily, and they're sort of common knowledge now. I feel angry. I feel angry. I feel angry. I'm so angry. And you let it out under the eye. Keep saying, I feel angry. I feel angry. And you give it permission, you give it the space, you give it a voice. One here. Keep saying, I feel. And you stick with one emotion until that emotion subsides. So the chin, I feel angry, and then the collarbone. I'm kind of rushing through this just to give you a taster. And then after you've done that a couple of times, you stop and you let the emotion land. You figure out Has the emotion landed? Has it gone, or is there more there? If it's gone, what's next? What is the next emotion that comes up? You set it up again. I feel betrayed at the thought that someone would do this to me. I feel betrayed at the thought that someone would do this to me. And you close your eyes because it helps you go into your internal world. And then you say the emotion, I feel betrayed, I feel betrayed, I feel betrayed, I feel betrayed. And you keep going. You say it, you give it a voice, you acknowledge it because it wants to be acknowledged, it needs to be acknowledged. You keep tapping and you keep saying, you keep talking. You might need to do that a couple of times. You tune in with your own feelings, yeah? What we're aiming for is to uncover the layers. So going from anger, betrayal, hurt, pain, I feel worthless, you know, I feel like I'm a piece of shit. Going down towards those sort of base level emotions of I am not enough. Allowing those to settle and then shifting until it's kind of like you reach that point where you feel all cried out and you allow yourself to cry, scream, shout, do whatever you need to do. Then you turn it around and you start to say, what's next? I feel a bit more settled. So I feel settled at the thought that I think I can cope. Yeah? I feel settled. I feel settled. And you go around again until something else comes up. I actually feel okay. And the music will help you through this. Once you start to acknowledge what you're feeling, the music will support this journey, this emotional journey that you're on. And so you move back up through the positive emotions until you get to a point where you feel joyful. You know, you might even end up feeling euphoric, orgasmic, who knows? You know, the emotional spectrum can be very, very wide for some people and it can be very, very narrow for others. Anything is okay. You work within your emotional spectrum. Once I've gone through that process, which can take anything, you know, up to 20 minutes, half an hour, I try not to wallow in each emotion. I give it the space, but then I let the next one come up. And that's really important to keep letting the next one come up, giving it a different name. Once I've gone through this and I feel settled, I might sit in silence for a couple of minutes, and then, this is the best bit, you get up and you put some really euphoric dance music on. So I like to listen to, I've written it down here, it's Armand van Helden. It's kind of housey, dancey music, but it's a little bit more progressive than that, and it's called Extra Dimensional. It's his sort of take on spirituality, and it's really, really, really good. Because you've cleaned yourself out of emotions, you're feeling euphoric, you're feeling expansive, you're feeling joyful, you're feeling connected. Now is the time to get that rave music on, or whatever music you really dig, you really love, that's uplifting, that's euphoric. You put it on, you have a rave around the front room or whatever room you're in, and this is my favourite. I give myself a cuddle. I make sure, you know, I really cuddle myself, and this feels so good because you say things like, I support you, Sally, I'm here with you, I love you, I will never let you go, we are one, we can do this, we got this, I will give you all the praise that you never had when you were a child, possibly, you know, whatever your circumstances are. I will encourage you, I'm here for you. And you basically treat yourself like you would a child. And that's the best bit. And that's self-love coming into its own here. And then when you're done, you're done. You can go about your day, or you can sleep really well. And that's a really fantastic way of changing your vibration, changing your energy. But obviously the first step is to really acknowledge that something needs to shift within you. I mean, this is a process that you could do once a week, just as a kind of clean out, as a clear out, a bit like an emotional poo. That's what I call it. And it's really good for you, you know? So I wish you well. If you want to contact me about anything, please do. If you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper into a specific thing that's holding you back, or you keep repeating the same patterns that are creating the same kind of emotional responses every time, and you're having to do this process a lot, there might be something in your subconscious that is causing you to repeat these patterns, do get in touch with me and we can have an RTT session and really sort it out for you, so that you only need to do this process, you know, once a month or something like that, as a maintenance really. So I'm always here for you. You can always book in for a discovery chat with me. No obligation to book. It's my purpose in life to help people the way that I've been helped. And that's it. So see you later. Mwah.